Hello, guys. This is JC Grande. Um, Today we are going to be inking this comic book page from a project called Birthright. We have the rough pencil version here, and we're going to start using our number two brush and trying to identify. We're going to try to identify the major concentration of black areas that is going to be useful for us to make it kind of an anchor uh, point of attention where that also is going to help us to identify how much volume we are going to be using for a particular object. In this case, we have this big close-up. This is a two-panel page. We're going to be using this brush, a number two brush. This is a synthetic brush, and this number is really good for details and for adding blacks in small portions. And the great thing about using brushes is your work end up looking a bit more naturalistic and a bit less stiff or static, I think. And it's also, if you know how to use it, it can be a fast way of inking if you use this tool, because you can get a larger amount of ink than using a nib pen. I try to combine both tools in order to have the best of both worlds. Initially, when I got started drawing and inking comics, I started using pretty much pens and markers. I still use them. But I also enjoy a lot using this kinds of small brushes. So our story is getting finished. This I think it's page 24, I guess, and the comic is at 20, 28 or 30. Written by Travis Beth, and if you like Viking themes and dark fantasy, you will love it. We're going to apply some pressure here for the contour lines. If you see, I changed the way that I hold the brush. Initially, it was like this. I think it was like this, which I would say is pretty normal. And then I changed to this other position. As you can see, I get all my ink in my hands all the time because I I'm constantly trying to change how I hold it. I can help it, but I like it anyway. Yeah, the great thing about brushes is that you get the wider range of pressure that you can apply to change from a thin line or from a thinner line into a wider one just by the amount of pressure that you apply to it, to the tip. We're going to the eyes area and the nose. We're going to combine our brush inking with another tool. We're going to use this fountain pen and for small details, and for example some areas of the hair here and the armor. I think the ink is pretty much wet, and that's a good thing about this ink, is that it gets dried real soon. Let's go into the face and do some details. My pencils for this page were very rough, so a lot of the fine detail I do it, while I'm inking. And I can do it, and well, sometimes I have to use a ton of whiteout, because when you improvise, you can get some happy accidents and stuff like that. But when you are very used to do something like that, sometimes you get things done the first time. We're going to add some details to this face. And the eyes. This is a fountain pen, which means that it's not as flexible as this other nib pens, but for details works pretty well. And I like the fact that it has a cartridge of ink inside. Some details to the face. The only thing is that if you don't preserve them well, the inks get dried up in the inside, so you have to clean them. I have like a couple of them, and I use them when I'm using a lot of details, when I'm doing a lot of details or texture. uh, it can make you go faster. Like right now, we are going to be adding some detail to the hair. Okay, some strokes are, you know, kind of tricky. You have to find the right angle to make it work. We're going to move to another area. We're going to move to the sword part. I want to make sure that it is kind of straight, because you know, it's a sword. Let's go back to our brush. And try to find where our shadows are. So that area is going to be a bit, you know, the line is going to be thicker. And if the light is coming this way, it means that we have it here. So let's do it. Okay. Big sword, man. We have the rest of the handle. There's also one more thing about, you know, applying the pressure to the brush, is the fact that also, depending on how fast you use it, you can get different results. If you use it very slow, or if you use it very fast, like this, and you almost do not touch the paper. Okay. These are very rough pencils, so if I make any mistake, I'm going to just leave it there and later add some whiteout to make the corrections, because I don't want to stop. I just want to go with the flow and do any changes later or any corrections. Let's go back to our pen. Some of the details. adjusting some of the um, the shadow area here. We're going to add some details. And the good thing about this fountain pen is the fact that you pretty much uh, can take the pressure that I apply, because I apply it very strong. My the pressure that I apply to any pen is kind of stronger. I mean, it's too strong. I wish I could do it, lightly, but I know that I have to change that into my work, because you don't need all that strength into your paper, all that mark into your paper. But I'm not conscious sometimes of how much strength I'm applying, and that's not needed really. So, but this pen can take it, and I like that because I use some microns and some other types of pens, and they do not last long because I destroy them pretty quickly. And this is a, even though it's not as flexible as a crow quill pen or nib pen, it can take all my pressure. So I like that. We're going to move the page a bit for some hatching here, for some line work here. And there you go. I think we did the previous page in our last video. So this is the next page. We're about to finish issue 1. So, and then I think it's 9 issue. I mean, it's 9 issues long, so we have plenty of material to cover, man. I do not start with the first panel. I mean, I do not draw or ink in the right order. I think I should, but I just normally get started with the page, with the panel that I find more interesting, because I want to warm up. I want to get in the mood and in the flow, and then move into the more challenging areas. Let's go back to our friend, our brush. This is part of the shoulder pad. For the armor. As you can see, we are making a combination of pen and brush. Let's move into the metal shoulder pad. Okay. You can see I am almost not touching the paper to make it look make some different kinds of lines. Not that's the wind. If there is a strange sound that you can hear, it's the wind. I live in a rural, very windy area, like almost like in a mountain, on a mountain, and the wind sounds like this. And you can, in the mornings, you can hear a lot of birds and other animals. There's a forest near here, so it's a very nice area, really. I like drawing hair, drawing long hair. It can take a lot of time. And I think we have made a ton of progression in this panel. It's a big important panel because with the dialogue, what's going on. It it has a very meaningful sequence for the comic. This is part of the indentation that the armor has suffered throughout the years, because it's not something new. It's like it has faced maybe some battles before. Again, I'm just lightly touching the paper to make really small lines, and that's the great thing about using brushes, because you can make lines as thin as this, and then you can go and make broader shapes and lines like that. According to the pressure that you apply to the tip. Okay. And the great thing is that this ink gets dried up really fast, so that helps us a lot. Again, just lightly touching the paper. To make this thinner lines, you can adjust how you handle your brush. I do it like this. It's kind of strange, but it helps me take the tail of the brush you know, like this, and then hold it with these other fingers. It's kind of weird, I know. Yeah, throughout the years, you get to understand more ways to feel more comfortable, even though it looks weird. But I like it, and we're going to switch. We're going to use this our nib pen to get uh, more flexible lines for our details, because we're going to cover some areas right now with some hatching and some sort of a grayscale that you do with lines, because that was the main thing about doing the hatching in the beginning of illustration. It was because they were not able to print grays, gray colors very accurate, so they did the grays with the hatching technique. As you can see, I'm holding it again like this, like with the brush, because I like to have the control of the tail also, not only here. I don't know if it makes any difference, but I got used to it, so I do it like this. So I control the tail also, and you can go faster like this, because you feel like you're using your arm, not only your wrist. You're not just like using your wrist, but you feel like you're using the arm as well. So you can go faster and try to keep like some sort of symmetry in between the hatching lines. To make it look a bit more uniform. I kind of like that. You can start doing the cross hatching in between the lines that you already did. Okay. Okay, I mean, we need more ink. Oh yeah, the tip dried up. Okay, here it's coming. It's kind of relaxing. This part is, you just need to know how to embellish the image much more, because the basic drawing is already there. So this part is relaxing. You know, all the most or more difficult part in this panel is pretty much done, which was the inking with the brush. We're going to leave it like this for now. I mean, now, but we're going to come back. We're going to use some details to the armor. We're going to change the nib to this other one. A bit smaller, but more flexible. We need more flexibility right now. One more pass of this, and we go back to the fountain pen. We're gonna let it dry a bit more. Because these nibs can handle a lot of ink. They really do. Oops. Okay, we're gonna let it dry a bit, and let's see. There was he's riding a horse, so I forgot to add the horse part here, so I'm gonna try to draw it right now. Okay. It's a big pencil. I don't like. I use like mechanical pencils, little, thin ones, but I like this one, which is covers much more faster. For this, we're going to use the fountain pen again. We're not going to be adding more black areas here because we want to give the illusion that this is the hair, the horse hair, so it's not really near this guy. I mean, it is, but from this angle we should not be able to see a lot from it. And we are going to move to this area over here, and I don't know if you can see it, but we have this guy's father saying goodbye, and he's riding the horse, getting into his mission to find what he's looking for. So this is the part where they say goodbye. We're going to go back to our brush, number 2 brush. Sometimes I use bigger ones, but for this project, I think number 2 is okay. Sometimes when I'm inking different projects like horror stuff or noir kind of story, detective crime stories, I use a bigger one because we have tons of shadows there. But for this one, this is okay. The face is kind of too near to the edge of the page, but in this case it doesn't matter because we don't need to see who this guy is. It's kind of, we'll keep it in mystery. So mostly we're going to be able to see the hand saying goodbye. Yeah, brush for the larger areas of black ink. We have here the shoulder. It's another big dude, his father. And he's like near a house made of more like a cabin. As you can see, you can do your lines in chunks of small lines. You don't have to do everything just one stroke. It's a big dude. Some texture, this glow thing. And we're coming to this, well, we're going to add some details to the face. Right now, I think some of the areas are already dried up. We're going to use our nib. And some feathering here. The way that you use your nibs is, if you notice, there is a space in between the tip, and there is an area which is open so that the ink comes down like this, and that's how you use it. You know, the ink is like constantly going down. If you press it lightly, the line is going to be, very light. If you press it much more, you're going to open that area, and there's more and more ink is going to come out of it. So if you want to go lightly, you press it lightly. If you want to go wider, you press it much more, and more ink is going to come out of it. So that makes you get really interesting shapes. We are like 40 minutes into this page. And I think we have gotten a lot of progress. The father is like worried, and the young dude is like going into a journey, hero's journey. And we're going to go back to our brush for the hand, for the arm and the hand, that's saying goodbye. I'm pretty much improvising this because there's some indication of the hand, but not a lot. And I think we pretty much have it now. Okay, some bracelet. This guy's wearing some bracelets, I think. And this bracelet has some kind of metal buttons or something. Okay, saying goodbye to his son that's going to leave for the adventure. Now let's go back to our fountain pen to see how it's going. I hope it is not dried up. It's working. Some more detail work, and let's go to the hand again. Some details to make it look a bit more solid. Some details to the hand. And we're getting a lot of progress here, because we just need to finish this over here with this figure with the horse and some background, and we'll have our page. Let's go back here. Okay, we're going to go back to the last figure and then add in some background, and then I guess that's it for this page. Oh well, we can come back here and add a couple of some more details. but we will have our page soon. Let's go back to our brush, number 2. And let's go into the forest. I'm going to start with the forest here. Go in lightly. Remember, if you want your line to be thin and smooth, you have to almost not touch your paper. Like if you can imagine, there is a layer on top of it, and you are touching that layer and not touching the actual paper. If you can make that into your mind, it can be helpful. For me it is. Okay. We're going to make some sort of frame for the character using the background. I hadn't thought about it. It's just kind of improvising because I got the idea right now. I mean, I had it in my rough, but not with some black areas, which is going to add some more atmosphere maybe. Got some small leaves, some plants here. We have our guy riding the horse. Like going into the distance. We're going to add some more trees, like pines or something. Remember to lightly, just lightly touch the paper texture to get really thin and smooth and light strokes with your ink. We're covering this part because this part is like get some shadows, a really shadowed area. We have some trees from the forest here. More volume to this figure. And let's go back to our pen. This pen is very thin. I use it for details mostly. If I need more volume and more I mean, different shapes I would use the nibs, but for, you know, detail that is just there for texture, I use this one, or even thinner. There's some microns that are thinner than this. We have the tree there. Some more details. And for the final figure, we're going to go back to our brush. So we're going to find first the darker areas. This guy is wearing a cape, so this part of the body that is getting inside the forest is getting affected by more shadows. So we go this way first, including the horse. Again, if you want to get really thin, smoother lines, just gently touch the paper using the correct size, brush size, you will have no problem with that. Okay, we have the horse right now. Here we have all the things that he packed up to the first part of this sequence on the previous page. And we have the big sword. This comic is called Birthright, and it's going to be released soon. This is the first issue, and it's there are many issues in the stories, many parts. So this is the first part we are getting. You have some leaves, you know, it's kind of windy. And we're going to go back to our pen. Here. To add some details to the horse. Add some more detail here. And that's it. We're going to add some details to the to some of the trees. For that, we are going to be using again our nib pen. Where's that thing? Here. Getting into the forest. Some roots here. And go back to another pen, the fountain pen, for smaller details. Some detail for the bracelets and the hand. Some hatching for the face. This is going on at night, so part of the face is covered by all this line work. Some more texture work to for the clothing. And I think we already have the first panel pretty much done. Okay. So we're going to add a bit more, a small layer of details to the face, and then we'll have this Pretty much completed. Okay, more, this is some sort of rusted metal here. I mean, not rusted, but kind of, you know, it has suffered some battles before. And we are going to add some leaves, as you know, it's kind of windy, blowing with the wind. Bit more details to the sword. And sorry. And I think we pretty much have our page for today. We did like 2 panels for page 24, and it took us like 1 hour to complete it. Well, it's for this one because it's just 2 panels. I still have to go back to the previous one we did yesterday to add some details, but this one is a bit more finished. Some more detail here to the eyes. Eyes are important. Okay, guys, so this is pretty much the page for today. I hope you enjoyed the process. Hope you even, I don't know, maybe you even got to learn a couple of things. Uh, Hope you like it, and I'll see you tomorrow with more process videos. Thank you very much, and see you next time.